Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pop. This video tutorial in Ubuntu Basics shows you how you can add an item or delete an item from the table of contents in an epub, and I will be using Calibre editor to show you how to do that. I have an epub on screen in the Calibre viewer, and I am at the head of one chapter, and it's outlined in blue and it's in a larger font. And down here to the side you can see that is the title of the chapter, and this would be the next chapter when I tap on it. The chapter headings let you navigate back and forth. You can turn off the chapters like this and turn them back on. Let us say, for instance, that for whatever reason that I want to turn this right here into an additional chapter that will go in between the one it's on and the next one. Well, we're going to first of all turn that into an H1 blue heading, and let's go over to the editor now, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me zoom in on the editor right here, and I want to show over here it's showing its regular font, and this is the one that shows the instructions, and it says that the paragraph style is a line center, and at the end of each line it says break, break, and those three lines will be centered, but remember they are in the regular font. Now over to the side we are going to be looking at all of the chapters in the table of contents. This one here, by the way, is labeled 230, and the next chapter is labeled 231. Those are the chunks. These chunks are not the same thing as chapter headings. I'm going to go over here and show you what is highlighted, and you'll see that that's what's being shown in the center. 230, and then here's 231. And I'm going to put an intervening chapter in the middle. Okay, in the last video I showed how to use snippets, but I'm going to review that. I go to Help, Preferences, Editor Settings, Manage Snippets, and I've got one called H, which is how you put in an H1 designator. Let me zoom in on it a little bit. At the very top there's the name. You could just call it H or H1 or headings or whatever you want to call it. I just put in the actual instruction. The trigger is H. You always follow the trigger by Shift Control J. You can have any trigger you want, but I put in H because I'm talking about H. And this is actually what's going to occur and get printed out. And it is division class equals H1. And then this is significant right here. The $1 allows you to paste in anything that you paste. And then that will be automatically then followed by the division sign. And this is a method whereby you do not have to type in laboriously the division thing at the end of what you're going to do. So let me get out of that, get out of that, get out of that, and I'm back here. So I will zoom in again, and I'm going to highlight all of this and copy it with a Control C. Now that is in the memory. I'm going to type in H, Shift Control J, and look where my cursor is blinking. All I now have to do is hit Control V, and it pastes. And let me unzoom that, it's unclear. And perhaps if I do this and do this, I've left the old one in that's in black right here. I should have erased it, but I'm just going to leave it in temporarily. Now that's H1 and it's blue. And you say to yourself, well, my gracious, it's blue, it's H1. I didn't split it into two chunks, so that's still 230 and that's still 231. But hey, let's look at the table of contents stuff, and that's easy enough to do. There are several ways of looking at it, so do not get confused when I show you several ways of looking at it. I'm going to go to the top here. You can see it cycling. These are all the different chunks. I will close this and go to the TOCNCX. That's the table of contents. And if you go down and find, nowhere in there will it say, please do not tow. It's going to have the old 230s and 231s, and it's not going to show anything. I've got hide and seek in the dark followed by sneak in the movie. You see that H1 did not add a table of contents. There is a trick though. We go up here to View, and we're going to look at table of contents, and that puts in another, a third of a screen. What do you call this? A sixth of a screen? It's over here. And we can find, again, when we look down at this, that it's not in there. I'm having trouble finding it because I have so darn many chapters. That is the 230 and that's the 231. I do not have it. It did not make an intervening chapter. So here's how you do it. Edit table of contents. It's an icon right here, and when you tap it, it opens up the table of contents as shown. You will have to go find where you want to add something. And like I say, boy, I mean, I have a tendency to make too many chapters. But you know what? They get broken up into chunks anyway, so I don't guess that's a bad thing. A lot of books only got like, what, 12 chapters? And I've got 266. Here is where the first chapter is that I want to put something in the middle of. And I've outlined the first one. This is the second one. This is after. I'm going to go to the one that's before, and it says new entry below this entry. And then this one says above. Now this one would be interesting. It's new entry inside of this entry. That would be a subchapter, an H2 heading. I don't want to do that. I want to make a new one, and I'm going to put it in right here. And I'm going to grab hold of it. Right there. And I'm going to type in car trouble. And the green right there is what is going to be picked as the place to put it. And I'm having trouble localizing it. And it says right here that it's in. I added it. Whether or not it did, I do not yet know, because that green business did not stick. Let's try it. You saw the trouble I had with it. Here it is, car trouble. So far so good. Let's go to the NCX, table of contents NCX, and look for car trouble. And there it is. Since that is working, I'm going to say Control S, save. I'm going to minimize and see how this is in the reader. I'm going to close it. I'm going to now open up the reader again, since I've already saved. The reader is opening. Full screen. Let's see if we can find it. Shazam. Now I've got to go in and erase the one that is in regular text. But since I have to do that anyway, why don't I show off and show you an additional thing you can do. I'm going back to 230. And I'm going right here. Now this is the ID that has been added. That is what tells the program that this is an H1 heading. But I'm going to do something cute. Well, let's put in F, Shift Control J, and I'm going to make it big, and I'm going to put a div on the end, and I've turned this thing into a frame. So I've got a chapter that's surrounded by a frame, and you can make a chapter a frame. Control S, save, minimize, open the epub. Maximize. I'll just step through with the arrow keys, right arrow. This chapter does not by itself start at the top of a page. I neglected to put that in. That's easy enough to do, and I can do that also. I will now open up the editor again and put in the instruction. No break, Shift Control J. Control S, save. Open the epub again. Maximize. Right arrow, Shazam. That's all I've got. My name is Pop. These videos are done in Ubuntu, and I am using Calibre to show you how to make and edit and modify EPUBs. And I thank you very much.